In this video, let's talk about v-if directive. The v-if directive can conditionally render an HTML element. The element with v-if will only be rendered if the directive's expression returns a truthy value. Here are some use cases of v-if. For example, in an online course website, if a course is free, then we can show the free icon. Otherwise, show premium icon. Don't worry, this view course is free. A different example, in an online mailbox application, if there are new messages coming in, show a red dot on the mailbox icon. Let's go to VS Code and look at one example. First, let me create a Git branch for this view concept, so it'll be easier for you to review the code later. Git branch v-if. Git switch v-if. Okay. Here is the starter code. In this example, I'm asking my user to guess the answer of a riddle. What has keys but cannot open locks? Space but no room, and you can enter but cannot go outside. What am I? Do you know the answer? If not, just click Show me the answer. But right now it's not doing anything. So let's implement it. Under the button, let me define a div with the answer. Okay, now one last chance. Do you know the answer? What am I? The answer is a keyboard. But I don't want to show this div when this page is first loaded, right? I want my users to guess. So let's use the v-if directive and a reactive Boolean variable to hide it. So in the script, let's define a Boolean variable. Let's call it show answer. And by default, it is false. Then in the div, we're going to use v-if. Here will be a Boolean expression. In this case, it will be show answer. As you can see, this div is gone. And when I press show me the answer, I want it to show up, right? How do I do that? Very simple. Let's define an @click. @click. When this button show me the answer gets clicked, I want to make show answer equal to true. Show answer is equal to not show answer. So basically, we flip the truth value. Okay, so let's refresh. Click shows the answer. Click again, the answer is gone. Okay. There is a small problem because when I click show answer, that makes sense. But once the answer is shown, the text on the button should become hide the answer. How do I change that? That's very simple. Instead of hard coding this text here, let me cut and then use a mustache notation to decide when to render what. And it's really based on the truth value of show answer. If not show answer is true, then render show me the answer. Otherwise, we're going to render hide the answer. Okay, so let me refresh. Show me the answer. Hide the answer. Very good. As a matter of fact, a better alternative for line 9 is to use something called computed properties. We'll discuss that in a future video. All right. Here is another example. So here I have a div v-if. And here I can put a JavaScript expression, math.random. If it's greater than 0.5, now you see me. Otherwise, so let me introduce something called v-else. Now you don't. Look at line 14 and 15. We're using v-if and the v-else to render only one text. So if I refresh, now you see me, refresh, now you see me, refresh, now you don't. Okay? There's a 50% chance that this one is rendered, and so is this. Vue also provides a v-else-if, so you can really write a if-else-if letter. But remember, only one of the divs will be rendered. Okay, so let me comment out this. Another option for conditionally displaying an element is the v-show directive. The usage is largely the same. So copy paste. I'm going to change this from v-if to v-show. So if I click show me the answer, I got two answers. Hide the answer, they're all gone. Then you're like, okay, what's the difference between v-if and v-show, and when do I use what? So let's go to the browser and press F12. And let's go to elements. As you can see, here is the HTML file of my Vue.js project. Okay, so here we have the body. We can expand it. And here is the div with id equal to app. Recall that this is the index.html file. Here. Then let's expand this div. We have h1, hello v-if. We have this riddle. In a paragraph element, we have this button. Then where is the v-if div? That is line 12. It is not there. And this div here is really line 13, the div with v-show. But take a look at here. The CSS style is display is none. That's why this a keyboard, the second a keyboard, is not shown. But the first v-if div is not in the DOM tree at all. So the difference is that an element with v-show will always be rendered and remain in the DOM tree. V-show only toggles the display CSS property of the element. For v-if the Boolean expression is false, v-if is not even in the DOM tree. So let me click show me the answer to make show answer equal to true. Then you can see both v-if and v-show. Now pay attention to here, the changes in this DOM tree. So click show me the answer. Now we have two divs. This div corresponds to line 12 because show answer is true. Then this div is created and then mounted to this DOM tree. The second div corresponds to line 13. Since show answer is true, it removes the display is none from the style. That's why you can see both. Okay, next, let me click hide the answer. Again, pay attention to the two divs. If I click hide the answer, the v-if div is completely removed from the DOM tree, but the v-show element is still there. It is just hidden. So take a look at the display equal to none. So in our small example here, let's say if you want the user to pay money to show the answer, then using v-show is a bad idea. Because if one of the users is a programmer, a Vue.js programmer, they can turn on these dev tools and look at the v-show. Okay, even though the answer is not shown on the web page, but I can press F12 and see that, oh, it is a keyboard. But for v-if, the answer is not there at all. So in this scenario, you may want to use v-if. So how do I decide which one to use? v-if or v-show? v-if is real conditional rendering because it ensures that everything inside the conditional block is properly destroyed and recreated during toggles, true or false. v-if is also lazy. If the condition is false on initial render, it will not do anything. The conditional block won't be rendered until the condition becomes true for the first time. So it is efficient. In comparison, v-show is much simpler. The element is always rendered in the DOM tree, regardless of initial condition, with CSS-based toggling. Generally speaking, v-if has higher toggle costs because it involves creating and destroying elements, while v-show has higher initial render costs. So prefer v-show directive if you need to toggle something very often, and prefer v-if if the condition is unlikely to change at runtime. Next, let's apply what we just learned to our Hogwarts shopping cart project. Okay, it's Hogwarts shopping cart time. As you know, every cart item has two different states, either in stock or on backorder. So let's take a look at the data. There is a is-in-stock property. It is either true or false. And based on this value, we're going to render either green in stock and this check icon, or red on backorder with this hourglass icon. How do we do that? Okay, so let's scroll all the way up to find this piece of code. So it's right here. As you can see, right now we hard-coded the in-stock for the first item. Instead, here let's use v-if shopping cart items brackets 0 dot is in stock. So this entire P element is only rendered when this is true. All right. Otherwise, v-else, and here will be a different CSS class on back order status. And here we're going to change it to a different icon. Hourglass half. All right. So to demo the effect, let's go to the data and change the truth value of is in stock for the first item. Right here. So right now it is true. So let me change it to false. The text color and icon changed. Let's change the in stock to on backorder. On backorder. So now it's on backorder. If I change it back, now it is in stock. Next, let's go back to learn View 3 with Bingyang and do a quick summary. The v-if directive is used for conditional rendering of HTML elements. It evaluates a JavaScript expression, and if the expression returns a truthy value, the element and its children are rendered in the DOM. If the expression returns a falsy value, the element is not even rendered in DOM. On the other hand, v-show directive only toggles the display CSS property of an element. I hope now you have a better understanding of v-if and v-show. Next, let me push the branch to GitHub. Commit. Conditional rendering. Git push. All right, see you in the next video.